LinkedIn believes B2B marketing can be B2 brilliant, B2 bold, and B2 breakthrough. How? With a platform purpose-built to make B2B marketing mean more for your business. A platform with tools to help you build better relationships with your key customers, to boost your buyer's journey while building your brand. A platform with trusted data and lead generation you need to beat your KPIs, drive ROI, and stand out amongst the competition. And with the targeting tools on LinkedIn, you can reach your precise audience right down to their job title, company name, location, and more to make sure your ads are always seen by those who matter. So let's get ready to B2 boldly go where no marketer has gone before, because LinkedIn is where B2B is everything it can be. Rethink your B2B marketing ads and get $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, and how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm Seth, and I'm here with Mike Simmons of Catalyst Sale. It's Catalyst Sale or Catalyst Sales?
Catalyst Sale, and that is, if I could go back in time, I would not have named the business Catalyst Sale. And the primary reason I would not have named the business Catalyst Sale is because everybody adds the S at the end of it. Everybody does. So, and if you go out and look for Catalyst Sales, there's a sales and marketing company that focuses on the electronics side of the business. And what was awesome is their website traffic started picking up after we launched the business way back when. So anyhow, it is Catalyst Sale, S, and that is the business.
Well, that's good. So you are an advisor, coach, consultant, speaker, a whiteboard aficionado. Because if the video right now, Mike's got this huge whiteboard. It looks like he's doing chemistry, but it's really marketing and sales back there. But everything has some math involved. Everything has notes and stuff like that. And it's what you said, it was a 7-foot whiteboard.
Yeah, 7x4. I went from I had a smaller one, and I was running out of space. It was weird to frame, so I decided to level up, and now I've got a whiteboard that you would expect to see in an office, sitting here in my home office.
Oh wow! I'm sure that was pretty pricey too, because whiteboards are expensive.
Yeah, it depends. It depends if you time it. Like, this was one of those ones where I ended up getting it in an open box from Amazon. So it wasn't horrible. It was less than $400. It wasn't horrible. Yeah.
An open box, and then a lot of people. This is a little off topic, but a lot of people don't realize open box just means literally open box. The thing is probably not touched. Someone opened it up, and now they can't. Now, generally, they can't sell it as closed because it was opened. Usually, so you can usually find some pretty good deals if you just suck it up and don't have the tape on it, essentially.
Yeah. Just be patient. Know what you want. Be patient.
Exactly. So, Mike, you went to ASU, Arizona State University. Are you still in Arizona? Is that where you're based out of?
I'm still in Arizona, and my son now is it's summertime, so he's not officially a sophomore yet, but he will start his sophomore year at Arizona State in July.
You got a little legacy there.
A little bit of a legacy.
And then you've done in-house and you've done out-of-house. That doesn't quite make sense, but whatever. We'll go with it. You've done the entrepreneurial journey. You've done the in-house entrepreneurial journey as well. And so you worked for UPS while you were in school.
I did, yeah. I was one of those loader-unloaders. I was one of those loader-unloaders early on in the day, and I realized one of the cool things that I realized is the operation is so tight at UPS. For those of you who aren't familiar with this, a lot of the people who do the work inside the operation buildings, those big buildings, they're part-time people, and they go and work in sprints. So 3 to 4 hour shifts, and they will squeeze every ounce of water or juice that they can get out of you, send you home, have you sleep it off, and then come back in and do the same thing the following day. And it
sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting.
But I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good exercise.
Oh, it was awesome. I was, I'm one of those people who likes to roller coaster my way through weight. In my first summer at UPS, and I live in Arizona. So Arizona State, live out here in Arizona, really, really hot. These trucks get really, really warm throughout the day. And then you have to unload them. I went from probably 205, 215 down to $185 in a summer in a peak season.
You sweated it out.
Leaned up. You sweat it out. You're doing some really work. It's a grind, and it is absolutely a grind. So yes.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. LinkedIn believes B2B marketing can be B2 brilliant, B2 bold, and B2 breakthrough. How? With a platform purpose-built to make B2B marketing mean more for your business. A platform with tools to help you build better relationships with your key customers, to boost your buyer's journey while building your brand. A platform with trusted data and lead generation you need to beat your KPIs, drive ROI, and stand out amongst the competition. And with the targeting tools on LinkedIn, you can reach your precise audience right down to their job title, company name, location, and more to make sure your ads are always seen by those who matter. So let's get ready to B2 boldly go where no marketer has gone before, because LinkedIn is where B2B is everything it can be. Rethink your B2B marketing ads and get $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. And so you escaped UPS. And then did you go directly into the corporate world, or did you do the entrepreneurial thing right away? Like how did the move into eventually being a sales coach and all that happen?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool journey. I did a couple of different things at UPS and left I was a full-time supervisor when I left UPS. After I graduated, I hung around there for a little bit longer. And then I wanted to do something new, and I found that there was this company out in Arizona, actually up in Scottsdale, that brought together education and technology. So there was this training and technology, and you could do both of these things together. And training has always been really important to me, helping people do the things they want to do, helping people be better. Did some personal training as in kind of the younger years and help folks with that. And then, and I've always been into technology. And when I found that there was this company called SmartForce that was an e-learning company before everybody started putting the E in front of every word back then.
Yeah,
and now,
E or I,
due to Apple, we have eyes. Yeah, we have eyes. But all predated that stuff. There was e-learning, and there was e-commerce, and then there was e-business and all that other kind of stuff. I found this company out there that did this, and I just started hammering them with resumes to just get a role inside the organization because I wanted to talk to somebody in there. I did not have a sales background. I had actually failed at getting a sales job at UPS on the supply chain and logistics side. I wasn't the right person. I didn't have the right mentality to get into sales. I didn't fit the psychological profile of the type of person that could be successful in sales. Anyhow, I joined this organization as an implementation consultant. Today, you would call that customer success, but this is
all of these names.
It's all these names, right? And so that was my first entry to go from a 300,000 person organization down to, at that time, 15 or 1,800. And then within 90 days, they laid off the entire inside sales team, which happened to be inside our office. So I went from an organization where I hadn't seen layoffs like this, had gone through some work stoppages and strikes with the Teamsters and all of that other kind of stuff, but then got into this organization. I go to a startup that's really small or a smaller company, and now they're laying people off. Ultimately, I made it through that layoff because of the side of the business I was in, but that was my first entry into an early stage company, and you learn a lot. You
lose some funding, you got to lay people off. Yeah.
Well, that was it. It was 2000. It was late 2000.
Oh, the boom and bust. Yeah.
So I got to see that. That was a heck of an experience.
Oh, I bet it was. Oh my God. Because I was just getting into college in 2000, And I remember the bust. I was just like, whoa, I guess I'm not going to go into that kind of sector. I mean, of course, now we're back up and like, we're going to another bust now kind of thing, whatever you want to call it. But, and so then you survive that. And then you moved on eventually. We were talking prior to this that you always kind of stayed on a little bit longer than maybe you should have at some places.
Yeah, one of the cool lessons I learned there was the importance of sharing with people what you want to do. And I had historically, some of my biggest mistakes have been driven by ego and loyalty. Loyalty, hanging on a little bit too much. Ego, thinking I should be doing something much bigger than what I'm doing right now, and
it gets us all.
And I didn't take there was a strategic account consultant role at SmartForce, or at that point it was Skillsoft, that I didn't take on because I wasn't going to get the title. They weren't going to take an inside person and bump them up, right? And I was like, whatever. I ended up, fast forward a couple of months later, taking a regional role, which was the title I could have had in that other role, just had it a little bit faster. But the takeaway there was, when you're ready for those opportunities and you want to do those opportunities, don't worry as much about the title, worry about the opportunity to go out there and do different things. The title can be changed. Yeah, right, and change. So then that turned into, I was being groomed to move into a sales role in the Northwest, and was really excited about it, but the Pacific Northwest wasn't our thing. So talking and working with people internally, finding solutions, we ended up moving back down to Arizona, and then an account executive role ended up opening up for me in Arizona. So that's when I moved from the account management, learning consultant to account executive type role. And I started to realize that you could move around inside organizations and continue to gather experience.
Yeah, entrepreneur almost. Yeah,
and that's it. And then you move over. Then I moved over to O'Reilly Media, that's
a great
Safari
company.
Books Online, and I was employee number 57 inside that team. So I went from now a bigger organization to a much smaller organization, and started to see.
You're going the funnel approach.
That's it.
GPS.
Yeah, and that led to, again, identifying new roles inside the organization, constantly focusing on helping the business solve problems, learn, and then that prepared me to, in 2016, launched Catalyst Sale with a business partner. And then we went from 57 to now we had 2 people, and then we started building a team. We built up to about 18. And now we're back down. It's a small boutique consulting advisory coaching firm. We've got 2 people inside the organization at this point.
I've always found that interesting. Like with my company, especially, like it's me, but I have a team of like 9 to 10 people that I pull in when I need them, so I can scale almost like a lung, scale, shrink when I need to. And people are like, there's different ways of doing business. You either hire everybody or you do everything contract. Yep. And I found the contracting thing just seems to work. They can do their own thing on the side. They're not like, oh crap, I'm stuck in this business. I can't compete, that kind of thing.
Yeah. When did you start to realize that? What was it that happened where you started
to realize that? That was actually day one. I realized like I can't do employees.
Yeah, awesome.
That was too much for me. And I was just like, all right, let's partner up. Let's do 50-50 split on the jobs. So they're all the less contractors are more partners on projects. Yeah, and that's how I kind of run things. Yeah,
it's important. It's an important thing. I'm a big fan of the building out your network and understanding the capabilities of a number of people that are out there that can do specific jobs, and how you bring them in at the right place, right time to take care of those things. I'm a big fan of 1099 and partnering with others to take care of things, and I've done that. I've also done that inside the business.
Yeah, a lot of people, I know people that are like, oh, we're going to grow the business. I want employees. And I'm like, I don't want the headache. I hear that with payroll, the first person on payroll is the hardest person to get on payroll, and it's the most cost prohibitive, because you have to get them on payroll, and getting everything spun up is really a pain in the tuchus. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
You quickly learn one of the things we learned early on is we were subsidizing good contracts with bad contracts, or subsidizing bad contracts with good contracts, because we just did not properly account for the cost of employees. When you think of, benefits are pretty easy, but you start thinking about the tax implication, and then the tax implication on top of that, right? So we subsidized some really bad contracts with some good contracts, learned a lot as we go along, and have kind of gotten better, which is good. It's you learn. I've been fortunate enough to learn a lot of lessons by scraping my knees and running into walls, and sometimes running into the same walls over and over again, which is why my hair is now gray or graying, and the beard does the same thing, and the wrinkles are deep.
Oh my God. And like, I like to blame it on my kid who's 9, but I feel like the gray hair, I'm 41, and the gray hair, I feel like it's the business. It's the business. I mean, it's the kid. I'm not going to let him off the hook. He's giving me gray hair. I mean, but it's the business. It's being an entrepreneur. It's a roller coaster. And that's what I want to ask next is, what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur? Because you've done the entrepreneur thing. You've done the corporate world thing. Now you're out on your own. Look, what's the best thing?
Yeah, the best thing is is realizing that a lot of the challenges are the same, but the vocabulary used to describe those challenges is different. So that drives personal experience on the other end, and also drives a challenge where people start to confuse things or overcomplicate stuff. And I've been having a lot of fun with some of the acronyms that are being thrown around, like PLG and GTM and RevOps and all this other kind of stuff, which in my view is just another iteration of what we've been building from an operational effectiveness inside organizations as we specialize and are really deliberate about design. So the best part of being an entrepreneur, from my perspective, is the opportunity to help others who are maybe just haven't had the same type of experience, break through those challenges at a faster rate in the right order, so that they build out their own internal capability. And it's that kind of brings in this whole entrepreneur and advisor and coach type thing, but it's helping others. It's making an impact, and being able to help others and make an impact and do the things that give you energy while giving others energy. And it's harder to do that when you're inside an organization, because
that's impossible sometimes.
And many times we make mistakes. Like, I joined one of my clients last year as a full-time, went in-house with them for a period of time, and it was at the time, making the choice, it was the right thing to do. Going through it, realized it wasn't the right thing to do, because I wasn't able to make the kind of impact and lead the way that I can inside that organization, given some of the constraints that we had. And the biggest constraint was time zone. My entire team was in the UK. There were 8 hours in front of me. So,
and you're in Arizona. You're not even East Coast dealing with London.
If I would have been East Coast,
it might have been doable.
Might have been doable, or would have been more doable, or if we would have been able to travel a little bit more, or all of those other things.
During the pandemic, you're right. You had the travel restrictions, and what are you, Mountain Time?
Right now I'm Pacific Time, and then
Arizona's weird and stuff like that.
We don't change our clocks, but I guess the rest of us are now going to be weird too, which means we're not going to be weird, and we're not going to change times. I think, right? Aren't we getting away from time change?
I think it's almost past. We're done with it. Okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
So, it just screws me up for like a week, and I'm like, I'm done with time zone. I mean, there's benefit of time zones. You change the time, and it's British Standard Time. It's like, well, I don't know what time it is.
And that you hit a chord, because everybody has different time. So one of the things that best practice for me, so just a practical thing to think about anytime you're working with people, always operate in their time zone, not your time zone. You do the calculation. You know where they are, communicate with them in the context of Eastern time or British Standard.
I do both. I say 8 p.m. Eastern, your time, it's going to be Pacific. I put both in there, so it helps me that I realize, okay, we got this. Or what I do is just send the calendar out, and it does it for me. I'm like, with us, Mike, it was like, Mike, go to my Savvy Cow and pick a time. And it told you your time, And then I converted it to my time. I'm like, great, I don't have to think with these damn time zones.
It's amazing what happens when we use technology. Technology can be used for good. Technology can enable humans to do better human things.
Technology is not one of them. So here's a question. What's the scariest thing about being an entrepreneur for you?
Being on an island, being alone. Granted, I've been doing this now since 2016, and you still feel the loneliness we met through Pavilion, and there's a great community of people who are coming together, trying to solve problems with a different perspective and a different approach and a different set of markets. But ultimately, we're still dealing with the same kind of problems. Like, are we doing work that matters? Are we doing work that makes an impact? Are we doing work that delivers value back to ourselves? Are we spending time doing the right things and prioritizing and then getting that work done in the right order? Are we able to provide for our families? Are we able to maintain a level of both good, strong mental health and physical health? I think the hardest part is being on an island, and it can be very, very lonely when you're out there. And that's where community is really, really powerful. Community and a really solid network.
Oh, absolutely. Totally. And what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Most important thing to carry with me all the time right now, my phone, because that's where all of the as a technical
everything's
piece of
there.
It's all there. And yet recently I went through and started setting limits on how much I'm on social on my phone, just because I realized I was getting caught in the doom scrolling of Twitter or the scrolling inside LinkedIn and the interaction there and all of that kind of stuff.
Stuck. Yeah.
So you can get stuck. So from a tool perspective, I love having my phone and having it around me because of the access that it has to others. But ultimately, the most important thing that I think we all need to have is mindset. Mindset of I'm spending time doing things that I enjoy, that are providing value, that give me energy. And even in the rough times when things aren't actually aligned or working out, I can go out there and I can talk with people to help reset my own expectations so that I can focus more on doing the things that are important. So I think mindset as a tool is really, really important. And it works on both sides. It's both I should be positive and operate with a level of self-confidence I'm able to go out there and do the thing. But at the same time, I also have to have the mindset of I don't know everything. And I'm going to get burned, and I'm going to go through these roller coasters, and we'll work through those things. So how do I lean on others to help remind me that I'm good, I've got capability, I can help people execute, and I've got the data and all of those other things. So mindset to me is a critical piece.
Mindset and your phone. That's
mindset
awesome.
And my phone.
I love that question because it gets everyone pausing. Like someone could be like on the point with the podcast, boom, boom, answering questions like this, and then all of a sudden I ask that question, it's always like cricket. So I like that question. It's
awesome question.
If I don't say so myself, it's not my. I have a deck of cards that a friend of mine put together of questions. Out of the whole deck of cards, this is when I pulled out. I'm like, I love this question. So
it's a great one.
It's good. So Mike, where can people find you online if they want to connect?
Yeah, the fastest way is LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn and just type in LinkedIn.com/ whatever they put on there, just Mike Simmons. I'm there. I'm Mike Simmons. I was on there early enough. If you don't find me right away, do Mike Simmons Catalyst, and you'll find that on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the fastest way. The other way to do it is Twitter. I'm Simmons _M on Twitter. Pretty active on Twitter.
And there's a lot of
there's a lot of range there. It's if you like barbecue, you like golf, you like problem solving, decision making, execution, all of those kind of things. That's a great place. Those are the two best places to engage with me. And you can always go to catalystsale.com.
Simmons M is what it is over
Simmons
on
_M. Yep.
_M.
Simmons _M. Yeah.
There you go. I found it. There you go. Find your catalyst. There we go. Perfect. Mike, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been so eye-opening and fun. I love hearing about people's stories and where they've come from, where they are, the fears, their happiness, everything. It's fantastic. So thank you.
Seth, thank you very much for having me on.
That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys.
Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
This podcast is coming to you on MPN, the Marketing Podcast Network. There's another show on MPN you might enjoy as well. I'm Jamie Lieberman, host of the Unbusiness Podcast. In each episode, we talk about the issues that face every entrepreneur where business and legal strategy intersect. Subscribe to the Unbusiness Podcast today. It'll make your business that much smarter. Just visit #legal.com or search for the Unbusiness Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.